There is power in the name of Jesus.
From this subject matter today, that thing that you do, everybody has something that they do continuously that sometimes causes them to backslide or put themselves in trouble with the Lord. There's some things that get us in trouble, and we continuously experience those things over and over and over, and it keeps us in a place that God didn't design for us to be. I read it this week, and I thought it made a great point. It said many experts have studied heroin addicts, and they said the best way to break this addiction is just to stop cold turkey. That's the best way to do it. But they warn this is the most excruciating thing that many will ever deal with. The pain runs through their bones, through their muscles, and many of them have insomnia, diarrhea, they vomiting, they go into shock. This can go on for weeks. And then there's a psychological aspect to this addiction that tears their minds apart because of the dependence that they crave under the pressure. And many of them go back to using. That escape is still there, the craving is still there, and it becomes too much for them to do on their own. Long after they've been saved, our bodies tend to crave the things that give short-term pleasures, but have long-term ramifications. Everyone in here has something, where they're doing that's tearing them apart. They have no power over it. They have no power to defeat it. Who am I talking to here that's struggling with something that has a little control over their life? Am I the only one in here that's fighting through some things that it seems like I lose to it consistently? I'm trying to do my best, but it seems like every time, I come up against this situation, I find myself doing that very thing that I said I wasn't going to do again. You know that thing that you do? I mean, whatever it may be. It may be drugs, it may be alcohol, whatever that situation is, that thing just keeps coming up. I'm trying to do my best. I said I was going to serve the Lord. I made a proclamation. Well, I'm going to go to church every Sunday. Ain't been back since. But it's that one thing that gets upon me that gets me in trouble. Today we learn about Paul. He's wrestling with his flesh, just like a lot of us. And he's trying to please God and himself at the same time. That thing inside of us roars like a lion. Every time we feel like we hadn't made the inroads in our life, something comes up. So day after day we fight with ourselves, thinking we are just fighting, but we have no hopes of winning this battle. Right. And we got to think about it. That we get into a place where we're confused. And he talks about it. He said, I know, the law is spiritual, but I'm unspiritual. I'm sold as a slave to sin. So you got to think about it from this perspective. There are a few things, and Paul points out in the text, the few things that are going on in our life because we know what we're doing is wrong. So, he said, I know what's going on, and I know it's wrong, but I keep doing that very thing that I said that I wasn't going to do. Paul, like many of us, we got that spiritualness that's going on in our lives, but man, I tell you, that Holy Spirit's trying to govern my life, but I'm fighting against it. I know what I'm supposed to be doing. Last night, I was shaking it like it was going out of style, and I knew I had to be at church this morning. Boy, that black party got me in trouble. I said I was going to leave early. But boy, they put my jam on and I got to wiggling and jiggling and I ordered me one last one and look what happened. I'm still in the bed now wishing I could have got myself together. That one weekend comes every year and I found a way to mess it up again. When I said, God, I was going to do all I can for you. Boy, I shook it like it was hot. The pastor had told me it was going to happen. There I am, sitting there throwing a pity party for myself because I done it again. I know I'm supposed to be at church. I know I'm supposed to be reading my word. I know I'm supposed to be developing as a Christian. But in that moment, that one thing controls me. Well, I know I was supposed to get up and read my word. I know I didn't do it. I know I'm supposed to be doing better. I love the Lord with everything that I got. Think about it. We go to that job, we give that job everything, don't we? Well, we'll work over this because there's something tangible attached to it. The more I work, the more I'm going to get paid. So there's something tangible to that. But you think about it, as Christians, we're getting paid every moment of our life. It's our grace he gives us. His grace, he said, man, I don't have to give you that. Every breath that you take, I'm giving it to you. But I can't seem to give you nothing back, Lord. I always seem to have a problem with giving something back to you. I'm selfish. You know, think about it. We as Christians, we selfish. We selfish. Well, I tell you, I put something on Facebook last week. I broke it down about the hours of the week and how much is left. And I'm just rough numbers. So it basically came down, we got basically 27 hours left for the whole week for the Lord. But how many of us are really using those hours the way that it should be? You figure I done spent everything else out of this week. It's 168 hours in a week. And you do your own deductions of how much you work and how much you do social media, how much you do everything else, and how much of that you giving back to God. How much of it? You said you saved, you said you set free, you said, you this evangelist, you doing all these different things, but how much are you giving back to me where I can grow and be better? The second thing he talks about is this. Paul says, okay, the things that I want to do, I want to do those things. Yeah, I don't do it. I'm talking, I'm talking to anybody in here. Paul was sinning in ways that wasn't even attractive to him. He said, I want to do the right thing. Well, man, I seem to find myself in another situation that I know that I shouldn't be in. And we wrestle with those things. As carnal people, we often find ourselves doing things that we don't even understand why we're doing them. But before we know it, we've committed yet another sin and everything else has coming up short. But then we feel remorse and we want to do, we want to do this, we want to do that. And most of us, that gives us a ticket to run away. I know I failed God again. I can't face him again. Not Lord, I understand I messed up, but yet we put ourselves in a place, we run away from the very thing that can help us. That's the antidote to get you to the blessing. Don't run away from it. We already know we messed up. We all born of sin. We was born this way. But the thing about it is, do I stay there? Or do I try to get myself to another level with him? Somebody gonna trip and fall today. But the thing about it is, that don't mean you can't get yourself up and try to do something better than that thing that you got going on in your life, you ain't the only one that's going through that. I talked to a guy the other day, he swore down. He was the only one that dealt with an addiction. I can't come back to the church because I'm ashamed of myself. I dealt with the same thing. 10 years straight getting high. Boy, I tell you, that 10 years just flew by. But when I got serious about what I want to do for the Lord, I asked that one time, and God straightened it out. Your situation may not change just like that. It may take you a little bit more. But I tell you what, I serve a God I know I can fix it. I know he can change my situation around. I know last night was last night. And a lot of times we take a moment and we turn it into a lifestyle. A moment is just a moment. I failed in that moment, but that doesn't define who I am in him. The third thing Paul said, he makes it clear. The Christian struggle against sin and trying to please God, and we try to do something without the Spirit's help. And that's when we fail God. We try to do it without him all the time. I'm going to get myself together. I ain't come back to the church to get myself together. How's that working out for you? I try. Every time I said, I'm going to get myself together. As soon as I get my outfit together, I'm going to be in church. You got it together this weekend. You didn't have no problem with that. All right. You didn't have no problem dropping it like it was hot all weekend. But the thing about it was, when it comes back to giving it to God, I got a problem. I got to dress myself up. But God already knows you're ugly on the inside. So it don't make no difference how good you look on the outside. You just carrying this thing along. You just riding away. And God said, man, I already know who you are. I already identified you as somebody. But that thing inside of you always seems to get the best of you. That thing just changes. It takes control of you. Then we realize there's something down inside us that's controlling every step, and we just can't control it. Sometimes we're in a place we just got to admit, I just can't control it. I can't control that thing. I'm trying my best, but I can't control this thing. We got to confess our sins unto the Lord. He is faithful and just to cleanse us of all unrighteousness. He'll do that. But am I willing to confess and give it back to God? Am I really going to try to keep doing this sleepwalk on my own?
All right.
God gives us a gift, and he gives it to us every day. He said, I love you above anything. Amen. I know you messed up. I know you done some things. I know you said some things. I know you have been some places you shouldn't have been. But I love you enough because I see value in you, and everything's going to turn around. Yeah. Then often we make that mistake. We're trying to mask that incident by saying, it wasn't me. How many of us said that same thing? That wasn't me. That was last night. That wasn't me. It was the alcohol. It just blame it on the alcohol. I got myself. I knew I shouldn't have had that. The last time I drank that, I knew I messed it up. But it's the weekend. I got to do it. And look what happened. Paul said, man, I understand. I got a problem. And this thing is killing me. And that becomes a driving force in our life. We try to walk around as if it wasn't us. That wasn't me that cut you out last week. That wasn't me. The devil just took over my mouth. He did that. That wasn't me, girl. But yeah, it was. It was you. It was you. Own it. Own it. That's who we are. We are frail people that make mistakes. We do those type of things. But the thing about it is, there's always redemption. Yeah. That's why the church is in the state it is. This is a hospital. Yeah. Everybody in here has got something. God is a surgeon that puts us all back together. Yeah. And he'll do it. And some years ago in Los Angeles, man, he was walking down the street. He saw a sign. And he says, I'm a slave for Christ. And on the back of it, it says, whose slave are you? That's a good question because all of us are slaves to one or another. That's right. One of us everybody has two masters, sin and righteousness. We have no other choices. But the very nature of humanity, we are made to serve and to be controlled by forces beyond our power. That's what we're made for. And we got to deal with our corruption that's inside of us. He said it is no longer myself who does, but it's in the sin that's living in me. I know that nothing good lives in me, that is in my sinful nature. As we as believers, we got to come to grips that we've allowed something to penetrate us, to we lose out on identity because the very person that we see in the mirror, we don't even recognize them no more. Do that thing that we're letting ourselves be taken over for. We look in the mirror sometimes, we don't even recognize who that person is. Because we done messed up so bad sometimes. But God, you never transform before God. The folk may not recognize you, but God still sees you. So we start beating ourselves up. I don't even recognize that person that acted a fool. I don't even know who that is. But then you start to feel sorry for yourself, thinking, that you can do nothing right. In many cases, we just give up and let the sin take over our lives. Who am I talking to here? Somebody just said, man, I've been fighting this thing for so long, I just might as well just keep on doing what I'm doing. They don't need going back to church, I ain't getting no better. They said I'd be getting better by now. They don't need me to keep going back to the doctor. They said I should be getting better by now. I'm still walking around with a limp. What kind of stuff is it? They done had me on this mess all these years. I'm still, doing the same thing. I might as well just go ahead and get high. Why not? I feel better when I'm high. But those are the type of things we do, right? We get ourselves in a place. We just want those temporary pleasures. We just want to feel better. But Paul he said, look here. He said, Paul, like many of us, they try to do their best to please God. Yet we fall short. I mean, we being honest. I try my best to get up for Bible study. I'm trying my best to do this. I'm trying to do these things, but a lot of times we just fall short. And we just say, man, look, that's just where I'm at. We can't be a people that constantly give up on what God is doing. We got to keep on trying. Hey, like the song said, we fall down, but we get up. We got to be a people that keeps on coming back. There's going to be floods in your life. There's going to be some tornadoes going to come and tear up everything. There's going to be some time your lights get cut out, your car get taken. So what? Yeah. You still got a point of redemption. You still got a God that's going to take care of you. Yeah. So what? That's why they make bus passes. Yeah. Right. That's why they make church vans. Right. You can get there if you really really want to get there.
Yeah.
Paul understands, you know, the spiritual and the unspiritual can't dwell in the same place. Yet we still try to force it.
Right.
And it becomes something that breeds and feeds that sin, the nature, and it rips our relationship apart with our Father.
It does.
We're trying to live the spiritual life, but that unspiritual thing has a big part, big part of our lives. And you think about it, if you look at that 168 hours a week, most of that is spent what? Working, sleeping, all those different things that are a necessity for us to survive, right? When we use up all that time, we're relying on something that gave us everything.
Amen.
God is the one that gave you that job. You think because you bad, you went to college and put your name on there and gave him your resume, that's how you got your job? No, God showed you favor. That's how you got that job. You started that business. It ain't because you had this great idea. It ain't like you the first one that came up with it. The factor was God said, this is your season. I'm about to do something you in your season. So you understand, man, please, God didn't already made this thing possible for me. I walked into there, I done walked into a blessing. So how can I make more time for him? That spiritual and unspiritual always tears us apart. But sin is distinctive, it's destructive, it's depressing at the same time. Paul states it best. He said, for what I do, not the good that I want to. The evil I do, I want to do it. That's what I keep on doing. Many of us struggle in relationships because of the mistakes that we've made. You know, we think about some of the things we've done, some of those midnight calls that have been made. Either we made the call or we took the call. And we thought, well, you know, I ain't gonna do that no more. Last time you was here, you slipped out of here, I ain't never heard from you again. I ain't gonna do that no more. There it comes again. I get vulnerable again. It wasn't that bad. Maybe my phone was off when he tried to call me back. Let me call him again. And we slipped back into that same situation. When we said we wasn't going to do it no more.
All right.
Right? You know, many of us are struggling, you know, in some other areas. Maybe, you know, you said you wasn't going down to the gambling house no more. I ain't going to that gambling boat no more. Right? Last time I went down there, I lost all my money. It took me 6 months to get that money back. Baby girl, we having a boat trip on next week, and we gonna meet at the church parking lot. Ain't under $25. That's a sign from God, ain't it? And we fall into it, don't we? Although everything we done messed us up to that point, we still, well, it wasn't nothing but $25. So we start justifying the means to do some of the stuff that's something inside us we know we shouldn't have been doing. But we did it anyway, didn't we? You know, that one thing, a lot of us have problems, you know, we have a convenient relationship with the truth. You know, folk, I don't want to call you a liar. I'm just saying, you got a loose relationship with the truth. Okay, we'll say it like that. So you know you got a problem in that area, but it keeps on happening, don't it? Every time you open up your mouth, you got to say something that's wrong. You know, then try to justify it, you know. And then, you know, when you tell one lie, you got to go tell another one. You know, I'm just some of the things. I mean, that may not be you. Yeah, it may be your cousin. You can tell your cousin about it. You know, maybe I can't keep my mouth off people. Maybe I'm always the one that's gossiping. Maybe that's your situation. You know, you think about, I said I wasn't going to do it no more. But boy, I tell you, this is a hot one. You know how you get a story, it's just so good, you can't hold it. And then when you're going to put your own remix on it, and you'll make it a little bit better because you want folk to laugh, you want all this stuff. But in essence, I'm making somebody look bad. In essence, you know, the Bible says we're not supposed to do that. But boy, I tell you, that thing that's inside of me, boy, it just comes out. I can't control it. I can't control it. What else am I going to talk about? You know, nobody wants to talk about scriptures or my morning coffee, girl. I'm scrolling through Facebook, and there I go. Those things that we always put ourselves in trouble. They get us in trouble. That thing inside of you is killing you. And Paul said, I want to do the right thing. But man, that one thing, I just keep going back and doing that same thing. I want this joker out of my life. 5 kids later, here he's still coming. He ain't paid not one bill. He ain't did nothing. He won't pay child support. But girl, he good to me. He good to me. He take care of me. Here's Joker riding up in a brand new car. Won't even take you to work. But you proud that you know, hey, he come by, he working right, girl. He doing right to me. I got 5 kids to show for it. But won't put my name on it. He won't give me his name. Boy, I tell you, boy, he wears some sweet cologne, boy. Boy, we go through it, though. We'll justify doing things wrong because we get some type of pleasure out of it.
Yeah,
we can't get to a place we enjoy God the same way because that ain't cool. That ain't fun. Ain't no fun. But I can sure tell you about last night. Boy, we did the wacky all night long. Boy, I tell you. Well, that's what we are. Sin is so seductive that we often allow our bodies to run on autopilot, don't we? It's so powerful. It leads us right to where it wants us to be, and we're powerless to stop it. Many of us get ourselves in that same situation. We know it's messed up. I know I shouldn't be going down that road. But I'm going to do it anyway. I'm so used to going that way. Sometimes we find ourselves in situations, we just driving our car. You ever ask yourself, how did I get here? Where in the world am I going? Because we're so familiar with taking that path.
All right.
We'll go right to a place that we've been so familiar with.
Amen.
Our bodies will take us to a place where we have been so familiar with taking that route. We continue to go and we don't even have to worry about it. A lot of us right now can get in our cars right now, not even think 2 shakes about it. We're going to go to sister-in-law's house, we're going to take the exact same way. And our bodies have already trained themselves to do that same thing. There was a famous preacher for many years. He had this clock in his church and he couldn't get it stabilized. It could be going too fast or be going too slow. Finally, he said, wait a minute. This is becoming a problem. So what he says is this. He put a sign on it over the clock and it read, don't blame the hands. The trouble lies deeper. The same is true for our people. The real trouble lies deeper than what shows on the surface. Amen. The real problem is something that lies below the surface. That thing that you do. It's something that lies below the surface. And you're not going to be able to fix that thing on your own. So he said, in verse 21, he said, I find this law at work. When I want to do good, it's evil is right there with me. For in my inner being, I delight in God's law, but I see another law at work in the members of my body. Paul talks about the law. And the law means something that is regulated. It rises up and rules at all times. So he said, I understand that I'm under the authority of God. I understand that part. And I know since I'm a believer, I got parameters in my life that I should not cross. I understand those type of things. But I seem to go outside the rules. I try to bend the rules sometimes. I mean, who am I talking to here? We always trying to find a way out. We always trying to figure a way around it. Now, they didn't say, church, you're supposed to be at church at 10. They said it starts at 10. See, I always figure out a wiggle room. You know, I know Pastor normally gets up about 10:20. So I can finagle my way in, you know, about that time. I still made it to church, right? But you missed the worship opportunity that was presented. Worship gets you ready for the presentation of the word, right? But so when you cut out all those things, it's just you now, right? So Paul said, man, I understand, you know, I got some things that regulate my life, but I'm not doing it. He said, it has a permanent and controlling power, and it regulates all your movements or thinking and or desires. So when we understand what God is doing in our life, you understand He's regulating everything in our lives if we follow. But we go back to what Paul said. He said, man, look, I'm trying to do those type of things, but I keep finding myself doing the opposite of what I know is best. I keep finding myself in financial problems. I keep finding myself in this setback after setback. I'm trying to do better. But every time I try, it seems like the harder I try, the further I get away from it. I understand what the Bible says. I get that. But I just ain't got time for the Bible. I got time. But I got to get to work. I got to pay my bills. We just try to bend the rules too much.
Right.
Man and woman that allow sin to rule in their lives are miserable and helpless. A victim that can't escape the torture of it. That's what we are. When we're in that place and we're trying to do right and we fall short, we make 2 steps forward, take 3 back. I'm trying my best to stay on the right course. But it seems like that thing comes up and it's stronger than me, and I do the very thing that I said I wasn't going to do no more. I mean, of us in there, we trying, man. I stopped smoking 5 times. And as soon as trouble comes, man, give me one of them cigarettes. Seems like that's going to make me feel better. Now, you think about it now. You're now putting something inside of your body that has a warning label that says it's going to kill you. But in that moment, psychologically, I felt better. You didn't care. It was all about you feeling better. Sometimes you're going to have to go through life hurting. Sometimes you're going to have to go through life pain. Sometimes you're going to go through some situations and you don't need them artificial fillers to get you to that place that you need to be. Paul relates to many of our struggles. He knows he has God in his heart. He said, but the other portions of my body tend to do as they want to do. You think about it. I got God in my heart. Boy, but my mouth, good Lord. I'll say things. I know I should have been saying that. You know, my body, it's just one night. I'm going to get it together tomorrow. I said I love the heart, the love. I got God in my heart. Well, I can quote scriptures front and back. But boy, I tell you, when it comes to that attitude, though, I can't really control that. Those are the things that get us closer to God. When we recognize that we don't have control over everything in our life, that's why we got to pray and try to get ourselves better. And we're not praying for those things that keep us further away from God. We're going to keep ourselves in trouble. He said, I understand I got the heart for God, but everything else is falling apart. My body's just going all over the place. And I'm trying to do this, I'm trying to do that. I keep failing. Am I talking to anybody here that God is in their heart? Their mouth says something different. I'm cussing at folk. He's saying things I shouldn't be saying. I'm stopping places I shouldn't be stopping. I'm eating foods I shouldn't be eating. Well, I just can't walk past a chocolate chip cookie without eating one. Yeah. Get myself in there with king ribs. I know them folk told me to get off that pork. But it's Thanksgiving. Just this one time, they gonna hurt me. Who says? That could be that one last time. I know when I gave up meat months ago, I ain't gonna be able to get away from all that chicken and all that. Boy, I'm the best griller in the city. I said, man, I got a grill. That's my therapy. I went through a whole summer, didn't even touch it. God stood this one thing. I'm not gonna put myself in a place to be tempted. And my wife, she cooked, boy, I tell you, she fried chicken every day if she could. I walked past that pot, I said, y'all demons in here. Y'all not right. I go into the bathroom, and the room, just close the door. But that aroma just keep coming around the house, don't it? And one thing about chicken and fish, it stay around 2 or 3 days. Yeah. So you done got rid of that in your mind, but here you walk right back into it. Yeah. What's wrong with these people? They trying to seduce me into something that ain't right. Brother Bill, it ain't right. I got to keep praying for them. Pizzas on the weekend and chili and all this old kind of stuff. And I said, Lord, I'm going to stay focused. I'm going to keep eating my same stuff. I don't care how boring it is, because I understand this. When them folk told me I could die if I don't get myself together, I chose to do something different. I'm not going to try to wish this weight away. I'm not going to wish myself to better health. I got to make a stand and start doing the things I want to do, because I understand my body wants that chicken. My body wants that rib. but my heart loves God enough, then I'm going to sustain what it is that I need to do.
Yeah.
Right? So I got to make a standing on my own life. And I said, I'm going to follow God because I understand this is going to get me life in a better condition. My joints ain't going to be all hurting. I'm not going to be carrying around all that exercise because I understand I'm doing this for God. And what did God start doing? He started shaving that fat off little by little. And I said, boy, God, you something else. Do it again. I went in there the next month. There's another 10 pounds gone. I bet you won't do it another month. And he did it again. I said, man, this dude is bad. I said, I tell you what, I'm going to give you my number right now. And that's the number I want to meet. God said, see me in 3 months. You're going to be right there.
All right.
Because the fact of it is, I made a choice. That thing inside of me wasn't going to control me no more. And you can cook all your chicken, baby. You can wrap yourself up at night. You can do all them type of things. But until you get yourself in a place to understand what God is going to do in your life, wrap away. Yeah. But I tell you what, I'm going to follow God's plan for me. Yeah. And I'm going to eat only them plants and them old things that's going to make me right. And we're going to see what we finish. Yeah. All right? Yeah. But he said here, he said, I understand there's a war against me. The law in my mind keeps me captive. I can't control it. It enslaves me and put me to a place. You know, some of us in that same place. I know, man, my mind is here, but I'm enslaved by this thing because I keep doing the same thing I know I shouldn't be doing. But I'm going to do it. I'm going to try and do it right. But who am I talking to here? They had that power. They understand the power, and it's just out of control. That thing you do is taking over your life. Now it's your time to take it back with force.
Amen.
Now it's time that you got to take that thing back with force. Don't succumb to what's going on in your life. Don't put yourself in a situation where you always falling and you always failing, not getting the best of what God has for you. It's time for you to rise up now and go to that next level in Him. I know it ain't going to be easy. Trust me, it's not going to be easy. But the point of it is, God's going to be with you every step of the way. I never thought my journey would lead me here. But I trusted Him enough to get me here. I never thought I'd be elevated and put to different place. I never thought I would be. But He did it. Man. But you got to ask yourself, who's looking for deliverance today? Who's trying to get themselves out of that situation? Who's struggling with the fact that I try to do that thing that I keep trying to do, I keep failing me? Who are you struggling? But who, in the midst of that, is going to take the leap of faith and says, I'm going to get better, and it starts with me today. Today is your day. For somebody that's really struggling with that thing, let us stand, and we're going to make it easy for you. The fact of it is, many of us are struggling with our walk with Christ. We're struggling with, just commitment. We're struggling with accountability. We're struggling with every aspect of our life. And we're trying to do it on our own methods. But you're not going to do it. You're going to be just like Paul. You're going to be wrestling with that thing. When you know you're supposed to be doing this, you know you're supposed to be getting yourself right, but you don't do it. Folk getting shot every day. Hurricanes are coming. They said they're watching 4 more that's coming. You think you're going to be able to weather the storm by yourself? You think your insurance going to cover it? You think it? You think you're going to be able to get through it? Like many of those people down the storm, they said, no, we're just going to stay here and ride it out. Where everything around them is getting destroyed. They put themselves in a place where they could be destroyed. Only because they felt like they can ride it out. Too many of us have got that in our mindset. We just gonna ride it out. But we ride it out without the right tools in the toolbox. If you don't have Christ in your life, you just riding out the storm with no help. You can put down an anchor in your boat. You can build your house, brick, seal up your windows. But when that storm comes, it's going to be more powerful than what you anticipated. And it's going to rock your foundation. And when it's over, you're going to have to call somebody to come in and fix it. Because what you tried to protect is the very thing that's going to be destroyed by the storm. Whatever you want, they say, man, look, I need to put myself into a place where I can come out of the storm and start getting the things that I need. Third Dimension Worship Church is the place for you. Whatever you want to say, man, look, I need it. I need it. I've been traveling from church to church, from faith to faith. But now it's my time.